Okay, good afternoon, gents. Hope everyone is well. As you can see, I've taken a couple of trades today and I've passed this second evaluation by $100 or something like that. We had a nice little channel down there. We had it was a visual second entry. You can clearly see two little legs up and a bearish bar. Hey Speed, how you doing? Now, if I'd have been trading a PA, I'd have probably waited for a lower high, but as I'm on an evaluation, but that worked fine. And then we had this bit of news, which was slightly on the negative side, and then we had we had a second entry short, pushed up quite strong, pushed above this, then closed nice and bearish, and that came back down, retested. So this looks like a bottoming pattern to me. And if I would have traded, I'd have taken that high low for sure. Because we've had two legs up with a break from this, and we've had a nice push down. We've bounced a couple of times. We've come back and we've retested again. So it does look like a bottoming pattern, that. And sure enough, up it continued. So if I would have had a PA, that one I'd have definitely taken. That one I think I'd have taken as well. That one I'd have waited for the lower high if I was on a PA. But it's past my both evaluations are passed now. So I'm over onto a sim now. So there's no point in trading them. They're passed. There's about another 3 days. It's day 4 today, so there's 3 more days there. So I've just gone onto a sim. I'm probably only going to do about an hour and a half or something like that, just to get a bit of extra screen time. So, market is about to open in about 30 seconds. So whether we'll end up being in a range or not, I don't know. It's certainly possible. It's possible. So in fact, that does look like a bottom there, doesn't it? But yeah, it certainly looks like a bottoming pattern, doesn't it? Bounce, pull back, bounce a bunch of times there, a bunch of times there, and then a nice strong bar there and a high low. I'd have 100% taken that. And that, if you'd have took that and stayed in it, you'd have been up here now. So there was a second entry long there, sort of a leg and a leg. So that might not have been a bad trade. There's a small channel there and a break and a new low. So, okay, market is open. So I'd have probably taken that, actually. I think that's okay. And then we got to push up. Also, try to push up once, try to push up. There's a failed second entry long there, which is triggered and pushed up nice and strong. So I think it's fair that's going up. I didn't take it. I was just, I'm on a sim anyway. So I was just thinking about other things there, but it's actually a nice channel, that. Touch, 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 touch perfectly. Now, we didn't get down the bottom here, but if you look at the NQ chart, it does start from that very bottom, and that works up just as well. So I think it matters too much whether we go from there or what. But even if we start from here, we're touching multiple times. So leg and a leg. So let's get an order ready here. As I say, I'm only on a sim.
Order submitted.
So let's have a look. Like another, yeah, I'd like that to break below there, actually. Okay, perfect. So let's see a nice big bullish bar there, and I expect that to push up nicely. Come on, up we go. Either or, that'll do, I don't mind. I'll take either one of them. In fact, that's better. 2 nice legs down right to the EMA. If that finishes bullish, I'll 100% get in on that. That's good enough for me. Let me have a look. Maybe not.
Order filled.
Oh, I've been a bit premature there. Let's leave that back here. Leg. I like it anyway. I think it's worth it. So that's comfortably pushed up anyway. So I expect that to break them highs for sure. I usually get out
Target
the top
filled.
of the bodies, but yeah, that worked anyway. So what was that? 275, so 2.75 points. Leg. In fact, yeah, it was 2 legs. That one I wouldn't have taken. That one I would have done. It's clearly 2 legs back. So 2.75 points. So that is on a, so we'll call that 2 legs. It's like a visual, isn't it? I mean, technically it's not because of that, but it is a visual. How you doing, Speedy? Did you have a good Christmas, bud? So, visual. Plus 2.75 points. Okay. So, leg up there, break, 2 legs back. I mean, even if you'd have taken it that one, it didn't break below anyway, and that one pushed up nicely. So, as I say, I've moved on to a sim. There's no point in well, the both of these accounts are at just over $3,100, so they've both passed anyway. So, hey, Rodin, how you doing? All good. Just past 5 hours. Good for you, mate. With your code. Excellent. Appreciate it, mate. Feeling lucky. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit better this time around. I was saying yesterday, I think the Christmas break has really helped me. It's just, I think it's important, and I'm going to do it this year. Be sure to take regular holidays, a week off every few months or 3 or 4 months or something like that, even if I'm not going on holiday. Because it's, you know what it's like. It's an ongoing battle we have, and sometimes when you're in the middle of it, it's almost like you're suffering from battle stress, isn't it? You need a bit of time away from the screens, and I feel so much better and so refreshed. I don't know, I just feel clean, and I feel a bit more positive as well. So I'm hoping this time around, I'm trying not to think about the money. I'm just trying to think the process. I am sick of blowing accounts, I've got to say, and I did give myself a bit of a stiff talking to over the holidays, so hopefully I've hit a nerve and things should improve. So that worked out really nice, actually. Could have got more there, but there's no point. I'm on an just a sim at the moment because then my pass, so it's just a game in it really at the moment. But that went up nice. I thought it was likely it was going to get to the top. That's quite a nice bounce. It's quite a clean chart, actually. Obviously, there's a little bit of news there, but we had a nice channel down. I mean, this is how these charts used to work. Nice channel down, visual second entry short, which worked nicely. It went down for about 5 points, that. A little bit more. Then we had the news, that little bit of a push down. And then we bounced a couple of times, came back up to the EMA, and I like that for us. So the chart's playing cleanly at the moment. There was a higher low which worked nicely. That one I think was a worthwhile trade for sure. We got a little micro channel with a break and a new low, and it's also a failed second entry long which is triggered. So if there's anybody going to be going short, there's a bit of support there. See, so someone might have picked up and thought that was going to go short. I go once, try twice, and took a short there which is triggered and finished bullish. So I think that was a good shout, and that clearly worked again, and same again, 2 legs back. So there does seem like, it almost looks like a chart from 2 years ago where there seems to be a lot more on offer. So it's just a nice looking chart so far. It's clean, it's moving, there's not too much congestion. We've got a nice move down, 2 legs up. It's clean. I mean, if we could have a chart like this every day, life would be so much less stressful, I got to say. So let me just put sim on that. Sim 1 M or 2, I've just gone blank. Five elemental block. Oh dear. So yeah, that 80% finish yesterday back down to 71. I'm surprised they only ran it for about 4 days. I am actually, but there has been a little bit of a chit chat on some of the Facebook groups about the discount slowing down. I don't know why. I thought they sort of made a lot of money, but in a strange way, I actually think it's a good thing because. And I'm speaking from my interests, not yours. I treat them like they're cheap, and I tend to gamble them. So the fact that they're few and far between, it's strange really, because Apex did this thing where they brought out you can pass it in 1 day, and I thought personally it didn't sit right with me. I thought it encourages a bit of gambling. But then I've heard a few rumours that they're stopping the discounts a bit, and that tells you that may be trying to stop a little bit of gambling. So I don't know, actually. Perhaps I had it wrong. I don't know. But I think it's probably... Yeah, I thought so. There's a bigger channel there, I think. I think it's... Yeah, let me just get rid of that. That's going to confuse me. Okay, so we've got touch, perfect. I don't know, 1 minute, when they brought that thing out, I thought they don't care about the traders so much, because they have said before they want traders to succeed and all this, and then when they brought this thing out, I thought, I don't know, that just doesn't sound right to me. But then now they say they're stopping some of the discounts, which is basically going to force people to trade a bit careful. So that would indicate they're trying to help with the traders, you know what I mean? I blew 7 PAs 6-7 weeks ago, and I took a break straight after. Now refreshed after the new year, I managed to get 5 PAs. Good on you, mate. 5 PAs. To write that last word is will. I think they have a little icon on my screen above that. We'll try to be wiser. Do you know what? I think every time you blow something, you learn something. You learn that you've got to treat these things with kid gloves. And you can't murder them. You've got to go careful, and I think it gets you that little bit closer to being careful. Like we've all read before, the human mind, we're not born to be traders, are we? Really, we're not designed. Our minds aren't designed. We're fight or flight. We grab and run. We hold on to what we've got. It's sort of bred into our genes, isn't it? We don't give stuff away. We keep it for us, for protection, for storage, whatever you want to call it. When you actually, I like that as well. And when you start doing this, and we get trades taken away and money taken away, it hurts like hell. And your natural instinct is to grab it back, and that pulls you straight back into another trade. I tend to not do it now. If I'm on a PA account, you see me lose a trade, it's rare I get straight back in. Going back maybe 6-12 months ago, I'd have got straight back into a trade within the next minute. I'd have thought, well, I've got trap going short, let's go long. You naturally jump in. Someone, if you're opening your wallet and someone reaches out and grabs a bunch of money from you, your natural instinct is to grab it back, isn't it? We don't like losing things. So we're not really, it's not in our nature, is it, to happily sit back and let things be taken from us. But I think with trade, and obviously you've got to learn to accept the fact that sometimes you've just got to let go. And I think the more it happens, as you say, try to be more wiser. And I think every time, we know we can manipulate the body. You can, stick a young guy in a military barracks and he comes out, 6 months later, completely different. But obviously the mind, it's not as visual, is it? But we know you can manipulate the mind just the same as the body, and I think sometimes it's just a slow process. You can't, there's no, if somebody's losing weight and getting fitter and building muscle, it's a lot more visual. But with the brain, you can't see a change. If you decide to lose weight every week, you're going to notice a difference. But with the mind, it's not quite that simple. Okay, so depending on what you look at this, if there's a channel like that, which I kind of like, there's a break. If it's the bigger channel, there's a break. So I'd still expect to push up. But there again, there is a possibility that we could just be in a range, in which case it might trigger you along and then come short. So if you'd have gone long there, let's see what happens. If we get a higher low here, that will be a trade in my opinion. But I'm looking on the NQ as well. So yeah, I think every time something goes wrong, in fact, you know what?
Order submitted.
I'm going to put an order above there. I'll take that on the engulfing if it works. Okay, it's right where it needs to be anyway. It's a lower high. We got sort of a leg and a leg. Higher low. Low high. High low, I mean. Yeah, I think you've got to... You know, someone said to me, you hurt yourself and you hurt yourself until you get that sick to death of failing. You just stop. You know what I mean? Got to be a little bit careful here, just in case this is the top of a range and it's going to trap you and come short. I think it's gone far enough to not trap you, so I'd expect that to work. I'm out comfortably before the highs. It does look like we've had a nice push and a nice push up. That doesn't look like a trap. It wouldn't go more or less a full bar and come straight down, I don't think. It's looking okay on the NQ, I think. So, but yeah, it's just something that takes time. So yeah, the only slight issue there is now. Would I have taken that on a PA account? I'm not sure actually. My only slight issue is we have got a bit of a range here because it touched a bunch of times there and it sort of sat on that line, which tells me maybe this is. But this looks like a nice failure anyway, which would take us a bit higher anyway. So now, would I take that? Not sure. Would I take the failure if that was bullish? I think that would be a safer option. Although that should work, you know, we have had a break and it is a higher low. You would expect to you know, break these levels. That's unless we are looking at a range. But if this breaks above here, then we're going up for me, I'd say. So yeah, on a PA, I probably wouldn't take that. It's a bit bigger risk than I'd normally want anyway. 3.5 point risk. ATR's up a bit today. But if that finishes bullish, I think we'll go up. I think that's a good enough, I think. Second entry short. There's people going to be thinking this is a range. If that breaks, boom, it'll hit that. If it breaks above there, it'll hit my order. But this looks kind of nice, and we've had a good strong push up there and a slightly less angle. One tick above there, and that'll hit my stop, I think. It'll hit my order. One tick. Go on. You've got to. You're about to take that stop out. You can't go that close and not take that stop out. There we go. One more tick.
Target filled.
Okay, so it was a high or low. Yeah, see, it's hard to say would I take that on a PA. It's not a bad looking trade. In fact, regardless, it's my only slight concern is I may get caught at the top of a range going long. There's quite a few trades around, but I think a lot will take that. Because we got a touch, and it's touching nice at the backside, so it's a break. If you've got the bigger channel, it's still a break. So we've got a leg down. Let me have a look at this. Yeah, there's clearly a small channel we've got to break. And a new low, clearly. And there's a higher low there. The thing I like about it is triangle higher once, triangle twice. There's a failed second entry long there, which is triggered. So I put my order one tick above there, which worked out perfectly that it was going to sit one tick above there. So if it broke above there, any shorts that were there, you know, would have got taken out. Not a lot, I'm assuming, but I think that was a good indicator we're going higher. And then there was a second entry short there, another trap that triggered and went higher. So that would have been the better option for me. That would be the safer trade. The failure That I'm not sure. I'd be concerned about getting trapped. But when this pushes above here and traps there, that certainly went for 2 points comfortably. So it's a high and low. So it seems like a few trades are out today, which is unusual. Plus 2 points. Okay, so busy day so far. I can't remember the last time I took 4 winning trades. 2 points, so that's 4 1/4, 5 1/4, 6 1/4, that's 7, that's 8, 9 points. In all fairness, I don't think any of them were careless. That one, it's a really nice tight fitting channel, that, but there is 2 clear legs up. I think I'd have waited for the lower high there. Strong push down, a little bit of a break and a new low. Push back up to the MA. That one I think I'd have taken. That one I'd have certainly taken. So I'd have had 2 anyway, which is the equivalent of both of those. Not sure about that one. Although Mac will mark that one. That one for sure I'd have taken. And the failure. So there's still been 4 trades there, certainly. More news in a few minutes, yeah. So definitely some trades around, which is pretty good. It's we don't often get days like this, which it's quite clean. Just going to make that a different colour, make it a bit more obvious. Touch. Fits nice, that does. Let me take that out of the way. Yeah. I don't think there's anything else. It fits so nice. 3 perfect times at the backside as well, so I can't see how that... You can adjust that one, but we had a clear micro trend with a break and a new low, then we had a higher low, so I don't think it was a bad trade at all, that, in all fairness. My only slight concern is we were breaking on the underside of this and we were bouncing on the overside of it, above the top side of it, so when you see this coming, you don't know whether we're going to come in, trap some longs and then come down. So I'd have probably stayed out of that. Having said that, there is a failure trap there, so if you put it 1 tick above, which I did, perhaps it's not a bad option to take it. I don't know. That one I certainly would have taken. We've got 3. It's clearly there's a second entry short trap. It's clearly a nice failure, that is. And if we've been out of here once, we've come back in and we've pushed out again, I think we can forget the range. And that would have worked just as well. Plenty of room to the top side. 2 clear legs back. I like that one. That one, I think Mac will mark that one, but slightly more risky, I think. That one I'd have definitely taken. That one I would. That one I'd have waited for the lower high. So I'm not sure about those 2. That one I would have done. And that one I would have done, and the failure. So there was 3 trades there anyway. Do you know something? Although I'm trading on a sim, it doesn't feel any less stressful than trading on an evaluation, to be honest with you. There's no difference. I was trading 2 evaluations yesterday. There's no difference. I thought it would feel amazing today. There's no difference. I was just as relaxed yesterday. Going back 12 months, I felt like my neck was in a vice. You'll notice I've changed my chart around a little bit today. I just wanted to prepare for these PAs to start next week. I've got the positions tab from Rhythmic. I think most of you know I was trading the other day, and 3 times in 2 days, one of the accounts triggered and the other one didn't. One of them still carried on. But because these 2, I usually have these here because I've seen Daryl Martin say, always keep these there, because if there's anything left or anything running, right click and cancel, and right click and flatten everything. But I've been watching some of his videos, some of the videos that are available on the website, and he does mention about having the positions tab open. because when NinjaTrader closes a trade, if something doesn't go right, there is a possibility that it can be trade still running. And I found out that the other day, luckily. It blew one account, but it wasn't a major issue. But so the trick is now, if there's a red cross in either of those after the trade finishes, just click that and it'll give you a prompt and just click OK and it'll close anything down in NinjaTrader. I wasn't aware anything could still be running in NinjaTrader. I thought it would have to show here, but apparently not. It's just something I must have missed somehow, but... Okay, so news, coming up in about 7 minutes. So just looking at the daily, we did bounce, but then we dropped below it, but we're getting some rejection now, right from this bottom. So what is that? It's quite a bit of rejection, actually. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 points. That's pretty quick, that. 40 points in an hour. Which looks like this rejection. So 1 touch, 2 touch. So we may get some higher stuff today. We may get some upward stuff. Yeah, if you guys are on PAs, look into all this stuff. There was a few things. I mean, I've been trading with Apex now for about maybe 14, 15, 16 months, something like that. I was unaware that trades could still be open in Rhythmic and not show in the orders and positions tabs in NinjaTrade. I was unaware of that because when that trade kept running, I didn't realise because I had these balances, account balances in a small font down the bottom, and I was unaware of that. So I've incorporated them into a little bit larger into my days. Not only that, so you guys can see where I'm at. And if there's any movement in any of these after a trade, or any of these trades here, this little cross here is highlighted red. I just need to keep an eye on this side, really. So I thought, rather than having bits at the top, bits on another screen, I thought I'll just drag this in and pop them down the side. Excuse me, just a second. Okay, so I'm not sure whether that is a range at the moment. I'm just going to get rid of it for now. If we do come down, then I may put it back. But at the moment, channel. But it's quite clean at the moment. So I do wonder whether there is something larger there. So. See where this bounces. Good support in this area. July as well. On that day, NQ definitely has a break and a new high. Yeah, it's quite a bit cleaner, the NQ, isn't it? I mean, that fits really nice in all fairness, doesn't it? You can't really argue with that. Let's put that like that. Yeah, sometimes it's the other way around, but it's very clean, that, isn't it, with the break and a new high. Yeah, even by a tick a bunch of times, so it's hard to know what's going to go on there, but we are still sort of coming down, I think, so I do wonder. But then we got this possible bounce on the daily. That's quite a bit of rejection there, pushing that back up. So, so we'll see. So, leg. I mean, it could be a push up, leg, and then more. You know, I've seen that green bullish bar forming on the daily. That only needs to go up a small amount and we get a massive move on this. So who knows what's going to happen today. Okay, so this news is coming up. Let's stick this in here. I keep forgetting about this news. What I need really is something like that starts flashing 20 minutes before. There's something just to disturb my eye line. Sometimes I'm that focused in on these bars. I know it's there. You put it there, and then you think, okay, you forget it. Then you focus, and all your focus is on here, and you forget that's there. It'd be nice to get some sort of a flashing indicator. I've got an Alexa next to me. I could put just a little alarm on that. I probably should do in fact, I will do when I start on the PAs. I'm just trying to start this year properly, and I want to just try and get in the right frame of mind and try treating this as a business that I can't take stupid risks with. Okay, so that's coming up in a minute and a half, so I'm going to stuff that right in the eye line. So I'm going to assume it doesn't matter, but it's irrelevant really. I still need to be focusing, so okay, news in just under a minute. ISM services PMI. So we had a little bit of a spike up and down earlier on. We had the non-farm payroll. Okay, news in 30 seconds. So if you're in a trade, get out of it. Okay, 5 seconds. It's going very still, so I expect a few little bits of a spurt. I wonder. It's almost like a rainbow, isn't it? We've got one channel, a second channel, and now a third channel. Oh, that's possible. So we've got a touch. Let's bring that down just a fraction. So touch. So that's a possibility. We're going in. So we may get a really good strong day today. It's starting off all the right signals that we're pushing up. And obviously that daily, we could get a real strong push up there. Even if we get up here to this sort of level, it'll double what we got here. And at the moment, we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 points. So it could double that quite easily. We'll see. So I like the fact that we've touched this twice. If we can come down here now, once, twice, 3 times. Come back down. Not sure about that. Still keep going, isn't it? Okay, let's bring it back down here. Start again. It's only really 2 touches there, so I'm not a massive fan of that, but the way that's rocketing up. Let's see if the NQ looks any better. Not really. Sort of. The NQ's hitting in the same sort of spot. See what happens here. So, we got a leg up, and that's about the biggest pullback so far, so let's put that there. There. So that would take us up around about there. 4770. We're definitely bouncing. We're definitely pushing strong. I mean, that's quite a bit of rejection, that. We've literally done that since here, which is about just before 1:45, so 45 minutes, an hour and a quarter. We've pushed up right from there, so so it's surprising how the daily can help you, can't it, really? It's looking bullish, and I think it's looking that bullish because of this. It's almost sort of stepped out of any of the channels. I mean, we started with this one, then we had sort of that one, which worked, and then it went into something a little bit less steep, and now it seems to be pushing again. So I'm just trying to find something that incorporates all of them, which it doesn't look that bad, actually, I don't think. So it may end up being a pretty good trading day today. There's certainly a lot of trades around. I think there'll be a few traders took that one, possibly that one, the higher low for sure. 2 legs back, that one. I think Mac will mark that one. He'll mark that one. He'll mark that one. Possibly that one. See, I don't think that one was a bad call either. There was a small bar there. We had this news, but it didn't start till about here, so you may not bother there, but that was 2 clear legs up with a very small risk. So it might be quite a bullish day today. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we have quite a bullish day and then we have a pullback a certain amount. Okay, so that's it for the news. Done and dusted. So nothing too dramatic. The news about there, wasn't it? That was 3 o'clock. So yeah, that was it, really. That's very bullish. I'd like to see that ATR come down a bit. Yeah, it just keeps on going, doesn't it? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get to there, no problem whatsoever. Lag. Excuse me. There's a gap all the way up to 4778. So up here, that gets to there comfortably, wasn't it? Yeah, this daily is doing sort of what I expected it. In fact, I didn't think it would break down so much. So we got a lag and a lag. So it does look like it's reacting to this, doesn't it? It's broken below here and pushing up strong. I mean, considering we haven't been trading that long, we're going to engulf this before long. Interesting. Nice looking channel there. Surprised at ATR. Usually when we get this slow grind up, that ATR drops, but Okay, leg. Let's have another little leg, or a higher low, if anything. Oh, hello. So leg. So far, so good. Okay.
Order submitted.
Okay, beautiful. Leg, right down to this level here. 2 legs. Leg. Nice. Come on. I want that to trigger below really, at least match that. Come on. Tick below here. Tick. One more. Come on, there we go. Now push up nice and bullish. Now, see how this reacts to this line.
Order cancelled.
That I think is better. Touch. Better on the back side, hopefully. That fits lovely at the top. Let's see if we can get a nice bullish bar here. If we do,
Order
I think
submitted.
that's... don't do that. I can manipulate that just a tiny fraction. Okay, so there's like 2 legs there. There's also maybe a bit of an overshoot, so... So there is a bit of a channel there, and that looks like a bit of an overshoot. I'm just looking on the NQ as well, and that's bouncing. Touch. Whether it is something like this or not, it's hard to say what's going to happen here, but if it does push up there, I think it's like due for strong correction.
Order cancelled.
Yeah, leg, pull back in another leg, and then continuation up. Yeah, it's a fair bit of buying, really, isn't it? Right to the top there. Excuse me. Okay, excuse me. Just seems like it to me. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. It's a lot of buying that, isn't it? We're right at the top, and if you look, that daily bar's having a bit of a pullback, isn't it? Obviously, we see the pullbacks a lot more detail in here. That one, the bar just drops back, but it's pushed up and come back a little bit, so it would make sense. I mean, if it continues up there, you wouldn't think so, would you? Would you want to keep buying along here? You'd want to wait for it to get back, or at least have a break. Excuse me, just a second. Okay. Channel break, matching low. Okay, so a double bottom here. I'd still want to wait for a higher low. Because it could just push up to the EMA and then do something else. I mean, and then how big, if we get a correction, how big it's going to be. It might come down here and then down there, or it might just do that. Another touch of this would be nice. 1, 2, 3, triple test. And then up. If we can get a higher low here above the EMA, I think that's all right. Possible second entry short. I'd like to see that trigger. If that comes bearish, I'd like to see that trigger, because there's going to be people, traders trying to pick tops and get some of that move down. So, but it's congested anyway, so it's dangerous. Which either way, but let me see if that. So leg down. Now I've got into trades like this before when it triggers and it just pushes up a bit, stops them out, and then comes back down again. So I'm going to leave this alone. I'd like to see that trigger, but just out of curiosity, I'm going to leave this regardless. There is a second entry short. If it triggers, you'd expect to probably push up, but I've done that before, got into it, and it traps you there and then traps you there, and then we end up getting a bigger correction. So it never triggered anyway. So So leg down. Are we going to get another push down? We may just retest the underside of this, and who knows? Who the hell knows? So, if you'd have put an order one tick above there to trap them shorts, there's 2 points. I don't think that's going to push straight up. I think this is going to be that second leg of correction, personally. So you've taken a long there. Sorry, you've taken it didn't trap the short in it, but you're in a long there. If anybody's in a long there, depending on where you took it, if I was going to take a long, I would take it one tick above there. So, but I don't think. I might be wrong. I don't know. I'd like to see another leg before we push up. That to me just looks like it's testing the underside of that. It may rock it up, who knows. We're not done yet, mate. I have a feeling you're right. One leg, two legs. I can see this being a correction. We've had a nice strong push up. Leg back, leg back. You never know. This is not pushing up as strongly as I would have expected. I think this is sucking in some longs, and I think this is going to drop. Let's just see. This is not pushing up as strongly as I'd expect it to. This is the first leg of the correction. This is what I think. Something like that, I don't know. Might be more here. Leg, something like that, I don't know. Could be wrong. It's just, you know, when you just get a feeling with what it's doing. But you never know. I mean, it's quite bullish, so you just don't know what it's going to do sometimes. Nothing's ever guaranteed. I mean, the fact that we've had a double bottom there, I suppose, that's an indicator we've hit a place twice and we've pushed up with a nice solid green bar. So maybe. But we had a break, which is sort of like a correction, isn't it? We get out of here. Because obviously it can't just keep going up. I mean, if you look, it's banging across the side of that, the tops all the way. This is not a place to buy. You don't want to buy it. We'll give it a couple of chances to go up, but it's struggling now, clearly, isn't it? So what's the next option? It's obviously got to come back. So really, we got a leg back. There's three legs there, isn't there? So that is a bit of a correction in itself, really. But this to me doesn't look like it's going to go up without having another leg down. It's struggling there. In fact, that can be moved up a bit to there, so it's definitely struggling there. I'm wondering whether this is going to trap some longs. Leg. That will be a more obvious correction. So you're not wrong yet, mate. I think this is what we're going to get. A couple of legs. We'll see. So correction or range. Either or would make sense. So there we go. So we've got a touch here, a couple of touches there. 1, 2, 3 touches there. That makes sense to me. Let's put it there. We've hit 3 times there. 3 times at the top. Push up, come back down. That's a correction. Leg. 2 attempts. 2 more obvious attempts to go lower. I'll expect it to come down to the bottom here, I would have said. You never know, or it may come down so far and continue up. But it's a very clean chart today. It's relatively easy to read. And there's definitely, we don't often get trades like this really. 2 nice legs back, nice little bullish bar, relatively small risk, and off it goes. Same again, little micro break, new low, higher low, maybe trapping some shorts, off it went again. That one as well, nice higher low. I hadn't gone too far in my opinion to see it as a higher low. You'd at least expect to come up to these highs, and that comfortably went. Hidden second entry short. You can clearly see 2 little legs. The only thing that put me off that is just that it was sat above there, but I see Mac take them all the time, so as I was on an evaluation, I took it, and that one as well. Bit of a push from the news. I expected a pullback and then a retest of this, which it did. Bottom in pattern for me. That's why I think that trade was valid to push up, and if you'd have took that, you'd have still been in this trade now. So it's quite clean, relatively easy to read, bit awkward to plot. It's hard to know where to mark these, to be fair, because it seemed to go up steep, then a little bit less steep. So it'd be nice to get another push up there, and then a bearish bar to go right down to the bottom. But yeah, it's quite a clean chart. We don't often have days like this where it's pretty neat. Very, very little congestion, in all fairness. It just moves nice, doesn't it? How often do we see days like this? Very little congestion. So, leg down, 1 attempt to go higher, 2nd attempt to go higher, failure, down we come. Who knows? Yeah, I think we're coming down to the bottom. So leg, probably going to be some stops there. If we can get a nice big bullish bar off the bottom here, that might be worth taking, we'll see. So there we go. There's our correction, Robin. Nice push up, 2 legs back. I'm not taking that one, although it might work. If I'm going to take pick a bottom, it's going to be a better looking bottom than that. Although it might work. I'd still rather wait for down the bottom, because there is possibly a failure which would take that out. I think it's a weak trade personally. That doesn't mean it won't work. That looks like you never know. It is a 2nd inch long. I just don't like the way it's floating in the middle of it. So looks like it'll make 2 points, yeah, comfortably. I have a feeling this might just keep carrying on up. Yeah. I thought this might come down to the bottom, but there we go. So, okay, 2 legs. Start from here, 2 legs of correction. Triple test. There's a 2nd entry long. I don't like the triple test, to be fair. I'd want that to be more in a line. My only slight issue with that is I've taken trades like before. It triggers you, comes down here, stops you out, and gives you a lovely bullish bar. A nice triple test. I generally don't pick tops and bottoms. That's not an obvious enough triple test for me. It is a second entry long, however. But for me, I think it just floats in the middle a little bit. You just don't know whether we're going to get a bigger correction. Yeah, it's just one of those ones that you just don't know. And I always feel now, I think it works for me better if I'm not sure. I generally just stay out, because sometimes they work. But it is 2 legs, but the second leg isn't as large. There's the first leg, and the second leg, for me, would have to get down the bottom. So if that came down to the bottom and the bottom of that sat on there, then I'd 100% take it. But you just don't know whether it's going to trigger you, come down here, break below there, push up and sit beautifully on there. I've just out of experience, when you get stopped, you get, trapped in so many times in these places. You tend to get wise, and you tend to probably get a bit overcautious, which is certainly better to be overcautious than careless, I think. But like I say, we've all got slightly different variations and understandings of these. Some people are a little bit more risk averse, and they'll probably go that. A trade like that might work 7 times out of 10. But if you're going for 1-to-1, it's still worth taking. So it just depends, really, doesn't it? But I just get a bit probably it's the married man in me that gets a bit paranoid. I don't know. But you don't know. You just and also my concern here is we've had quite a strong reaction there. My concern is we have another drop, and if we do have another drop, now that ATR hasn't gone down. Now, my experience of these, I heard somebody say, I can't remember what it was, when you get very, very low ATR and lots of little bars, it's a sign of a good, strong market. I have a feeling we're going to get a big pullback or a big drop and take back, I don't know, maybe 50% of this. I don't know. When you just have these feelings, when it's slowly working, sometimes it'll just drop, and that's what concerns me. And I could be completely wrong. But when you get those high low 2.5, yeah, it's just one of those question mark ones, isn't it? It's clearly a second entry. It's a bullish bar. But when it's just a bit too far away from here, and Mac will probably say a trade like that, ride back to the EMA, but you haven't got very far back to the EMA, have you? And you don't know whether it's going to trigger you, come down, stop you out, and then give you a lovely long trade there. So my concern is that we end up having a decent sized pullback. There's some support around here. Can you see it there, right the way along there? I don't know, call me Mr. Paranoid. I don't know. In fact, let's use that. Let's bring that down to around about the 50% line. I don't know, sometimes when you see these and you go, oh yeah, there's a long there, or there's another one there, and all of a sudden, wham, it drops. So you just never quite know, do you? You never know what's around the corner. And markets have got a habit of just pissing you off, haven't they, sometimes? Everything's going great. You think, oh yeah, another one, let's get in here, and wham, it drops. A little bit more risk, and you end up in the red. So I tend to be a bit overcautious. In fact, I'm surprised I'm actually being this cautious on a sim, but, at the end of the day, I just try and get into the habit of, being careful. So I'm even forgetting that I'm on a sim, to be fair. I'm just looking at the trades, which I think is good. It's a good habit to get into. Really, if you are trading a sim and you haven't had a go at live yet, you really want to be trading a sim as carefully as you would. I used to treat sims like more of an experimental, which is all good. You've got to try and experiment and backtest, whatever you want to call it. But sometimes I go, I'll have a go at this, without much thought. So, if you're a newer trader out there, try and trade those, even the sims, with some seriousness. You know what I mean? Still try and think about what you're doing. Because it's easy to slip into bad habits. And I've had enough of them in the past myself. And the trouble is with bad habits, they can be hard to get out of. That's a lovely fitting at the top. 1, 2, 3, bunch of times there. Yeah, sometimes these habits can be really hard to. You don't think they can, but they can be hard to get out of. Yeah, it's slowing down for me. We've had, leg and a leg. Well, there's 3 little legs, and then maybe another attempt to go lower. And you would think it would go up, but I don't know. It's not looking as strong as it was earlier. So my fear is we've got a channel down there. We made one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, failure, then a big drop. Now, I'd rather be a bit overcautious than careless, but you never know, do you? But what it is doing is sucking in longs. There'll have been some there. I don't know, maybe here. Certainly some there. But what there will be is definitely people, traders looking to pick tops. When we've had a good push like this, yeah, you said, Robin, a correction. I'd expect a bigger correction. I just have this feeling this is going to come down pretty quick. Check out, because when it's moving slow like that and it's a bit weak looking, it looks like it's sucking in longs. It's going, come on, we're going, follow me, and then it goes sideways and then wham. Yeah, I think we're going to get a push down now, I do. Leg down. Couple of attempts to go lower, pushing through the EMA. I mean, I think this is a penguin trade, this is. So let's just put that there, just out of curiosity. So if he went long, short there, he'll be out before the bottoms. That's where I expect that to get down to. Suck a few more longs in. Right, down you go. Does this, doesn't it? Says, come on, we're going up, come back a bit. No, we're still going up, come on, get your order in quick, you're going to miss out. And all of a sudden, down it comes. Sometimes it'll give you a second little bar and push again, and then all of a sudden it comes down. Market's very clever. It really is. It's been programmed really well, these algorithms. They really know where to catch weak positions out. Another small bar. See that trigger and come down. So if you didn't get in on the first one, there's another taster. Perhaps you'll get in on this one. In fact, I could be completely wrong, actually. The NQ looks bullish, actually. There's a nice little channel on the NQ. We'll see. Perhaps trading's made me a bit paranoid. I don't know. I don't think this is finished. Okay, so if you did take that penguin trade, you got stuffed. It's generally why I don't pick tops and bottoms, because I'm crap at it. I wonder if there is maybe another channel going here. Who knows? I don't know. It's just not pushing up strong enough for me. I still think we're going to get a pull back. I do. It's struggling to get higher. There's longs in there. There's longs in there for sure. It's struggling to get higher. And it'll only do this for so long. And it'll just drop. As it's slowly inching, and I've done it myself, I've been desperate to find somewhere just to get up to this level here, and sometimes I get on a weak bar and then wham, down it comes. Who knows? Oh, excuse me. Come on down. You're making me look bad. Yeah, it's struggling to get up. I can see it's having a big pullback here, I can. Come on, down we come, come on. Excuse me. Yeah, this has got to come back. It's struggling to get up. Just looks to me like it's going to drop. Come on, you're making me look bad. Come on, drop. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get it though. I can just see a decent drop. It's really, when it's, and I know from when I've been sat in trades like this and it's going up slow, and the longer in a trade, the more nervous you get, and then sometimes it just drops. And I've done it lots of times, so I tend to just get a bit overcautious now and just probably think the worst. But it's struggling to get up. So it may make it and not, but I certainly wouldn't want to be in a long trade now. Mind you, in all fairness, if you'd got in there, you'd have been out anyway, but I don't know. I just, for me, this needs to come down. I think it's struggling. Excuse me, sorry. Come on, drop. So I like it when it does drop because it tells me that I'm in tune with the market and I get a feel for what's going on. Come on, plummet. So I want it to get below there and there. and quite possibly even lower. So I think we're going to get a drop that's going to hit that. Certainly there, more likely here. That's what I think. In fact, just out of
Order
curiosity,
filled.
just out of interest, I'm going to put an order in there to here. It's a sim anyway, so. But that's what I think. I think that I'll make that. I wouldn't do it with the PA, incidentally. There is a second entry long forming on the NQ, but I don't think it's going to work. This needs to come down for me. It's struggling to get up. It needs a bit of a flush. Here we go. Come on. Down we come. Come on, come on. Come to daddy. Yes, we're coming down. Come on. Any second now. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down we come. If I thought you could, Matt, I'd ask you to. I hope we all think it'd be nice to have the money that move markets, wouldn't it? Be nice. I wonder how much you'd need. I wonder how many contracts you'd have to put in to actually move a bar properly. I wonder. I wonder what size these institutions trade. Are we talking thousands or tens of thousands? Are we? What? I don't know. Now come down and give me my simulated money. Okay, more long stuck in, I think, there. Oh, it's looking bullish on the NQ. Billions of dollars. Yeah. I wonder how many contracts you'd need to really make a difference. I think, didn't someone sell 100,000 Bitcoin the other day and it dropped about 5% or something like that, didn't it? Wasn't me, by the way. Just in case anyone wondered. Come on. We ain't finished yet. Oh, I just got to show I don't know shit. It did come back, just not quite as much as I thought. As it's me, I'm just going to give it an extra tick. So there might be another channel there, actually. Let's have a look.
Stop filled.
Possibly. Let's bounce the trend if you have it spiking channel. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like to have a big flush down for me. What's that again? That's bouncing on a trend line. Is it? Spike and channel. How big's your spike though? Tell you what, let's do it like that and see where that comes out to. You on about here, are you? Ooh, don't know about that. Let's have a look. Let's yank that down out of the way. Possibly. I'm not sure there. I don't know. I just... this looks like it's struggling to get up. It needs a flush down. I don't know really. I don't know. Anybody else got it like that? Is that what you mean? Is it, Jay? Or here? Yeah, you might be right. Do you know what? If you look on the NQ, it looks like a range as well. It's come back and it's struggled to get up the first time and it's come back again. It's still not pushing up to it for a new high on the NQ. It'd be nice to have that sort of money. See that, you know, the whales with Bitcoin, they all manipulate the money. I thought it was illegal to do a lot of that stuff, but it's not illegal to sell a large amount of Bitcoin, is it? And if you've got a large enough amount of Bitcoin and a few of you doing it, it obviously has an effect on the price of Bitcoin. It drops like it did the other day. It dropped about 5%. So what happens? Every other guy a lot of people start to panic and then sell the Bitcoin, and then the whales buy them back at a cheaper price. So it is manipulation, but you can't really stop people from selling if you've happened to got a big amount of money. At the end of the day, we don't move these markets, the institutional traders do. So, you know, just because they got large amounts of money and move the market, you know, you can't tell them not to buy and sell. You know, they're not buying and selling on any particular news. They're just dumping lots of Bitcoin. What happens when you dump lots of Bitcoin? The market drops. And what happens when the market drops? Lots of traders, traders, hodlers, whatever you want to call them, they panic and sell as well. And then the institutions get back in. It's just one of those unfortunate things that sort of money and power does. You know, if you've got a bigger car, bigger engine, you're going to drive faster, aren't you? There's not really much you can do. I tend to not panic now when cryptos dump. I tend to look upon it as a way to pick up a bit of cheaper crypto. So this does look like it's continuing higher. So it's been a funny old day today. It's actually not been a bad day. I got in at the right times and the right places, and it got me what I wanted. I moved on to Sim, I think, with those two, did I? Yeah, those two got that second evaluation passed, and then it was just a Sim. That one I just marked. I didn't take that one. I took that one. I just took that short up there just out of curiosity. I didn't take anything else, I don't think. But it does look like it's pushing up, doesn't it? It just goes to show, don't fight the market. It just looks like on the NQ it's struggling to get up even more on the NQ. We had that initial push, then we tried again, then came a bit low, and we were struggling. And whenever we do this, we seem to get a quick drop, which I still think we're going to get because we're clearly struggling to get up. It's slowing down and struggling now. Obviously, where you get that drop, you never quite know, but there's going to be longs there, and longs there. So interested to see whether it still holds or whether it drops. You never quite know. The ATR is coming down, so you just don't know. I mean, it looks to me like we're due for a drop or a flush or leg down, a little bit of slow buying again and another leg down, proper correction and then some more. But I don't know, sometimes you just got to... You get into all different states of mind when you're learning, can't you? you end up getting trapped a few times and stuff like this. Then you get a bit paranoid. Then you come back later and it just carries on up for the rest of the day. So you never quite know. So I think the best form of, the best option or the best decision to make is if you're unsure is just to stay out of it. And it's just how you learn, isn't it? No, I still have had problems with revenge trading, but I've got two that are past. I've had payments this year, not a lot. I've had $10,000 in payments from accounts this year, but I've just felt a lot of frustration lately, and I think I just needed a break. So, I feel like I'm progressing all the time. I tend to be able to build the accounts a lot easier and a lot less stress. So, you know what it's like. But these two are passed anyway. There's another 3 days left on these, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm trying not to think about the money now. Just concentrate on the process and what will be will be rather. So I'm not going to knock it on the head there. I've been going an hour and a half. I'm only on a sim now anyway. So I did start trading at 1 o'clock earlier. Well, a bit earlier than 1 o'clock. It was about quarter past 12, something like that. So that'll do me for now, I think. I'm trying to cut my trading time down as well. If I hit my points, I want to try and just I still like to do an hour and a half, even if I hit them quick, just to continue to get some screen time, because it still adds value. But I am trying to separate work from a little bit of time off as well, because I tend to just be absolutely obsessed with trading, and I have been for 3 years. I mean, it's a real obsession. When there's something I want, I tend to literally move mountains to try and get it. But I have felt the stress lately. But having that break at Christmas just cleared my head. Amazing, it really has. So yeah, you too, bud. You too. I'm guessing your weekend's probably going to be better than mine, isn't it? I know where you are. At the moment, it's 6 degrees and raining in the UK. Surprise, surprise. Certainly where I am. So yeah, that's it. Friday, another week gone. First week out the way already. So I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday I'll start these 2 PAs. But I'm trying not to focus on the money. I feel fresher. I've had a lot of cycle. Let's go. Yeah. That's more like a house on the water, your thing, isn't it? But yeah, I've given myself a bit of a talking to, and I've thought a lot about the psychological side and done a lot of studying, and I think I've got myself into a better frame of mind. It is moving forward, but slowly moving forward, so that's all we can do, isn't it? But there you go. So that's it for today. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, and I will see you all on Monday. Bye for now.